What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and it's time for our Week 4 preview of the Big Ten here in college football. We really ramp up the conference play here this week. Several teams get started and have conference games. We've only seen one Big Ten game so far, so we get several this week. Let's start things off with a non-conference game. UNLV on the road at Ohio State. This is on the Big Ten Network Saturday at noon Eastern. Ohio State 39.5-point favorites, but UNLV, you see there, leads the Mountain West in scoring. They have a very high-powered offense. That has a lot of points. I don't really see Ohio State winning by that many. I'd say something more like, maybe a 28-point win, or maybe even 21, 3 touchdowns, something like that. But, of course, Ohio State should win this one pretty easily, especially playing at home. Let's move on to another non-conference game on Fox Sports 1 Saturday at 3 o'clock Eastern. Central Florida versus Maryland. Maryland, a 4-point favorite at home. We don't know a whole lot about Central Florida. They've only played one game. Maryland's only played 2 games. Of course, they look very impressive in that opener against Texas. And this is a good measuring stick for both these teams. Is Central Florida going to be, a real player in the American? And is Maryland going to be a contender in the Big Ten? This is a game they really need to win and prove that they are really, a strong team this year, and prove that first game against Texas was not just a fluke. I like Maryland to win this game at home, maybe by about 7 points, something like that. So I think they cover as well. Also on the Big Ten Network Saturday at 3:30 Eastern, Indiana a 23.5-point favorite over Georgia Southern. Indiana's got that offense going right now. They didn't play last week either. Because I think they were playing Florida International, so because of the hurricane they canceled that game. But I like Indiana to win this one big. That's a lot of points. I don't know if they cover. I'd probably stay away from this one. Let's go now to our conference games. Here we go. Rutgers on the road at Nebraska. Big Ten Network Saturday at 3:30 Eastern. Nebraska 14-point favorites. You would think this would be a pretty easy game, but the way it went last week, you never know. And if Nebraska were to lose this game, you may be looking at a new head coach there for the Cornhuskers, because they cannot afford to lose this one. It's been a rough start to the season, but hey, they haven't played any conference games, so they have a chance now to build some momentum, get back on track, and maybe, just maybe, have a chance there in the Big Ten West. But they got to get a lot better, and it starts here with this game against Rutgers. Rutgers obviously not very good this year. And here we go, Michigan on the road at Purdue. Michigan, a 9.5-point favorite on the road. This game is on Fox Saturday at 4 o'clock Eastern. Purdue is really looking good right now. Michigan's defense, though, has played well. It's the offensive side of the ball that they have struggled a little bit on. So will Purdue be able to score enough points on that Michigan defense? I don't see Michigan scoring more than 24 to 28 points, something like that. It's going to be tough for Purdue to score more than that, but David Blau, a very good quarterback. That offense has been clicking. They put up a lot of points against Louisville. Did pretty well against Missouri. So this will be a fun one to watch, and because Purdue is at home, I like Purdue to at least keep it close, but I do think Michigan wins this game in the end. Let's move on to the big game of the week in the Big Ten. Penn State on the road at Iowa. This game is on ABC Saturday night at 7:30 Eastern. Penn State 12.5-point favorites on the road. Iowa's been a little shaky at times this year. They struggled against Iowa State. They are at home, though. I definitely think this game will be one of those close games that comes down to the fourth quarter. I don't see Penn State blowing them out. If they were at home, maybe, but it's tough to play there at Iowa. And I do like Penn State to win this one by a touchdown. And we'll see how good McSorley and Barkley do against a pretty solid Iowa defense. But yeah, I do like Penn State to win this game. But if you're going against the spread, I'd take Iowa in this game, especially playing at home. But we'll see what happens there. And we've actually got one more game here, a non-conference game. This one's on Fox Saturday night at 8 o'clock Eastern. Michigan State, 4-point underdogs at home against Notre Dame. Boy, this is going to be a fun one. We're going to find out a lot about these two teams. Notre Dame has looked pretty good. A close loss against Georgia. Michigan State hasn't really played anybody, but they've looked good in their 2 games so far. We're going to find out, is that Michigan State team, is that defense back? Is it for real? I think they'll definitely be tested here against Notre Dame. I do expect this to be a pretty low-scoring game, something similar to the Notre Dame and Georgia game. Michigan State playing at home, and they're the underdog. I'll tell you what, I'm not ready to make a pick on this game just yet. I think it's going to be very close. I would probably go with Notre Dame picking against the spread. I think it's a field goal game either way. But yeah, it's going to be a good one. Neither one of these teams is in the top 25 right now, but the winner of this game, you have to think, will definitely move their way on up into that top 25. So that's going to be a fun one. That's it for the Big Ten this week. 7 games is all we have. Several teams are off this week, but we do kick things off with some conference games outside of that one Ohio State-Indiana game we had week 1. So get ready for a big week here in the Big Ten, especially that Penn State versus Iowa game. I am really looking forward to that, and I'm curious to see just how good that Penn State team really is. So that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more here on the SG1 Sports YouTube channel.